We have been traveling the rich lands of East Africa, far and wide, across the highlands and lowlands of this beautiful region, talking to farmers wherever we go.
We have given them the help and knowledge they need to improve their farming methods,
increase their income, and turn their farms into good business for the future.
Join us and our experts on this journey across East Africa and share the family's experiences as they make these changes.
Karibu to the Shamba Shape-Up Safari.
Welcome to Shamba Shape-Up. We are in Njoro in Nakuru County.
We are about to meet a farmer who is very organized, but he needs expert advice to make him even a better farmer. Let's go meet him. Joseph is an ambitious farmer. He lives in Njoro on 4 acres with his wife Grace and their 14-year-old daughter. Joseph and Grace, we are very delighted to be here. How long have you lived here?
37 years.
How about you, Grace? How are you?
I'm fine.
How many children do you have?
5.
Okay, and you help Mzee in the farm?
Joseph, what do you have in your shamba?
I have got a goat, daily cow.
What crops do you have?
I have maize, and beans, sweet potatoes, and English potato.
Tell us about your cows. How many cows do you have?
The big one and 2 small ones.
Are they doing well?
Yeah, they are very well.
So they produce a lot of milk?
Milk is not so much.
So you'd like them to have more milk?
Yeah, for milk, yeah.
Okay, great.
Mama, I can hear chickens. Are they yours? How many are they?
40.
40? Hey! How are they?
Wako wazuri.
We are here in your farm, very happy and very ready to start working. We'll take a look at your cows, see where they're not producing enough milk. We'll go around, see your crops, see where we can help, and also help in a few things around the farm. Let's get to work then. Very hard-working farmers. Naomi, what do you think?
Yes, they're very hard-working, but we still need to help them. So what are you going to do today?
I think I'll start with the chickens, see how I can help out there. And of course, their daughter goes to school and she needs to read in the evening, and maybe the lights may not be that good. So I'll see what I can do to help.
Okay.
How about you?
I'll go and look at their cows. And then I have this craving for oil fresh sweet potatoes.
Oh, I understand. It's very good for pregnant women.
Don't look at me, I'm not pregnant. But anyway, they're very good for pregnant women and aging men. See you later.
I am in the mood for chickens, so let's see how Joseph's flock is doing. Joseph and Grace raise 40 local chickens, which they use for meat and eggs. I asked Ruth, an expert from Unga, to have a look at Joseph's chicken's house.
This is it's your poultry house.
Yeah.
Wow, how many birds do you have?
40.
40.
Yeah.
All of them sleep inside here?
Yeah, inside here.
My goodness, it's a small house for 40 birds.
Yeah.
Ruth, what do you think of the housing?
The housing I've seen over there is not good at all for the health of the chicken. You've heard he has 40 birds, 40 chickens, and they are all sleeping in that small house. Secondly, it's not ventilated the way it's supposed to be. So when the birds are sleeping there, there's a lot of accumulation of bad air.
A good chicken house should allow 1 square foot per chicken. It should be well ventilated, but also secure to protect against predators. Ruth, what should Joseph feed his chickens?
First of all, he has different age groups, which needs to have different feeds. I've seen you have chicks, small chicks.
Yeah, small
How
one.
many days old are they?
2 days.
Those 2 chicks need to be fed on a special diet called Fugo chicken duck mash for exactly 8 weeks, that is 2 months. And I would recommend you should not add anything else, because that feed is formulated for chicks so that those chicks can move up strongly so that they can be able to fight diseases and have a very good frame. Now, after 2 months, you have chicks of 2 months to 4 months.
Yes.
Those are called growers. They need to have a special meal called Fugo Growers Mash. And from there, we can supplement. We can mix the kienyeji available feed
Each grower chicken should be given 4 handfuls of grower's mash every day. For Kenbro and local chickens, you can give half of this and supplement with local feed.
Now when they start laying, there's a special feed also for them called Fugo layers mash for the laying birds. Yeah?
How about water?
Water, they need to have water throughout, from morning to evening. And that water should be clean, the water you can drink. Yes.
Now that Joseph has been briefed by Unga, it's time to find out about breeding better chickens from Kenchick. So Joseph, for how long have you been trying to breed your own stock?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Has it been successful?
Not yet.
So Peter, what are the main things for a farmer to consider before starting a new breed?
The major areas that a farmer should concentrate on is ensuring that he have a healthy and a good flock. So it is important that a farmer gets a good rooster.
How many roosters per hen?
We usually advocate for between 1 for 10 to 25. 25 is the maximum. 10 is okay. This will ensure that each and every hen lays a fertilized egg.
Were you doing that? Were you keeping that ratio?
No.
How many roosters did you have? More than the hens?
More.
The next idea that we should also keep in mind, you need to select the eggs to ensure that you have the right size, the right quality, and also the right features. When you're selecting eggs, which you are going to place for the brooding hen, we are going to check for the egg that is medium size, smooth, and also of texture that is okay. We have some eggs which are completely big, like this one, which poses the danger of having double yolk, which will affect the hatchability. We have some eggs which are completely dirty, so this is not a good egg. We need a clean egg. We have some eggs which are completely small. We should also avoid placing such eggs.
How does a farmer know that an egg is good and that it's going to hatch? How can a farmer know? By looking.
Yeah, not all eggs can be used for brooding or for the aim of getting a chick. The eggs, at first and foremost, it should be fertilized. And for us to be able to know that the egg is fertilized, we need to see very clearly developed blood vessels, and this is done through a procedure we call curdling.
To check if your eggs are fertilized and to make sure the chicks are still growing inside the egg, you should candle your eggs. Candling is when you shine a light through the egg to see the chick inside. You can make a candler from a torch and some card. Make sure the hole for the light is smaller than the egg. A fertilized egg will show veins after a few days. Then the embryo will grow. An egg that is ready to hatch looks like this. If your egg is not fertilized, it will look like this. Remove unfertilized eggs and dead eggs from the nest. Can a farmer crossbreed his stock with one of yours?
It is really advisable that Joseph is able to crossbreed. For example, at Kenchick we have two very good breeds. For meat production, we have a breed called Kenbro. It's able to grow up to 9 kilos after 5 months. So if Joseph is intending to get meat, he should look for Kenbro rooster, which is able to pass on the genes. If you're looking for more egg production, and I think that is bone of where his interest lies, there's another breed we call Sasso. Sasso tends to give you more eggs but does not grow as big as Kenbro, but it will give you more eggs and better returns.
Joseph is growing several crops in this Shamba and has a great fodder lot for his dairy cows. But I wonder if his crops could even do better. It turns out the secret is in the soil.
Joseph, what kind of fertilizer do you use in your soil?
I use a DAP fertilizer.
You've been using DAP?
Yeah.
All the time?
All the time.
We have already sent a sample of Joseph's soil to the Mayor Lab to be tested and see if he has been using the right fertilizer.
So let's go to the Mayor Lab to see for ourselves how Joseph's soil is tested.
We took small samples of soil from 15 different areas in Joseph's field. We supplied details of Joseph's region, where the soil came from on the Shamba, and which crops Joseph is growing there. In the lab, that mixture is crushed. Then it is sealed and put in a soil carton and labeled again.
Now the soil is ready for pH analysis. The pH is very important. If your pH is wrong, your crops won't be able to use the nutrients in the soil.
The soil is mixed with water.
It's then stirred and heated.
Then it's tested for nitrogen, potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, and other minerals in the soil. This tells us how healthy Joseph's soil is.
When the results are ready, the lab prints out a page for Joseph with all the details and instructions on how to improve his soil. And I can see you have his soil test results. Are they good news?
Soil results are good news here. Your soil has very low phosphorus. And phosphorus is a nutrient that is responsible for good root development.
So what should he do?
For planting fertilizer is a blend called NPK 1246. It has high phosphorus.
What exactly do you mean by blends?
Different crops have different nutrition requirements. A blend is basically a fertilizer that has been formulated to meet a specific crop requirement for a given soil.
Let's see how these blends are made.
Mea makes special blends of fertilizer for different soils in Kenya. The Mazao fertilizers have calcium and so do not make the soil more acidic, unlike standard DAP fertilizer. To know which fertilizer to use, first do a soil test. Mea is very careful with quality. They even have their own sacks, which are well lined to keep the fertilizers in good condition until you use it.
Remember, a farmer should test his soil every 4 years to find out which fertilizer he should be using for each kind of crop. It is important to change the fertilizer you use every 4 years, or else you'll damage your soil.
Tony, I've been looking.
Don't make a sound.
Do you even have an idea what you're doing?
Naomi, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Let's go back to the Shamba.
More after the break. And we are back at the farm.
Naomi, we haven't forgotten the fact that you have this craving for sweet potatoes because you might be...
Come on. I'll also be dealing with sweet potatoes, but that's later. But I'll also be learning how to store fodder for the dry season.
Aha, Naomi, you're such a delight. D.Light, that reminds me. I have to go and meet D.Light people. See you later, Naomi.
Okay, later. Joseph has 2 healthy cows and an impressive fodder lot, but he wants his cows to produce even more milk. I asked an expert how Joseph could do this better. So, James, you've noticed the kind of different fodders in Joseph's farm.
Yeah.
Do you think that was good?
That was good because he has tried to combine different type of fodder that supply his animals with different nutrients, protein and energy as well.
Joseph has planted napier grass and bomber rods, which are good source of energy for his dairy cows. He also has lucerne and caliandra, which are good source of protein for his animals. How can he store that?
You need to cut the materials at the right stage and then conserve them in the store so that during the dry season he can be able to use those to feed his animals.
You can cut your stovers from the Shamba after harvesting the maize and store them in a dry place away from pests.
He also should bank on storing, but he has stored a small amount of it here, but the store is not giving it proper aeration for conservation. When you build a store and you put some aeration in between, a store needs to be big enough whereby you can go in.
Right.
That one will be able to enhance conservation for a longer time, and the animals will have a source of, will have source of energy for a long time.
During the wet season, you can make silage by chopping the stovers into very small pieces and soaking them in a mixture of water and molasses, 3 liters to 1 kilo for 7 days. This can be fed to the cows during the dry season so they continue to produce a lot of milk, which will get good prices in the market. So after 7 days, it can be fed to
It
the
can be
cows.
fed and it is going to be very nutritive and to boost energy to his dairy animals. During dry season, that is when other farmers who have not embarked on conservation are producing low amount of milk.
Yes.
But if he continuously produce the milk during the wet season and during dry season, he's going to make good profit from his animals.
Joseph has a good sweet potato crop, but he isn't sure which sweet potatoes he should eat, which he should sell, or which he should store for planting material. Sammy, the potato expert, has come to give us some advice. So, Joseph, how long have you been growing the sweet potatoes?
I started to grow this sweet potato in this year.
And this is the first time you're harvesting?
Yeah,
Did you harvest a lot?
5 to 8 bags.
Well, that's good. So, Sammy, he's just harvested. So, what next?
Well, after harvesting, you sort your roots that you want to take to the market. You also take the roots that you want to eat, because you can't sell everything. Now, when you are sorting for roots that you want to take to the market, make sure that you get good medium-sized roots that can sell well. Even in the supermarket these days, they are really looking for medium-sized roots which can really fit into their shelves.
To get the best quality roots, harvest at the right time after 3 to 4 months. The longer you leave the roots in the ground, the more water they will absorb and the larger they will become, but their quality will reduce. What does he do with the big ones?
Well, the big ones, I would recommend that he consumes that in
the house.
In the house.
Aha. Any leftover portion of a large sweet potato can be chopped and fed to your animals. Sweet potato makes delicious and nutritious food for your cows. How do you store the roots for planting?
Well, once you have selected your roots that you want to use for storage, so that you can get planting material when rain comes, you can store them in sand.
When you're selecting your roots to store, make sure you select small and medium roots that you cannot sell at the market or eat yourself. You can use any old container as long as it doesn't have holes where pests might get in. Put newspapers on the bottom of the bucket, arrange the sweet potatoes and cover with a layer of sand. Then repeat this process. Depending on the size of the bucket, you should be able to store 2 to 3 layers of potatoes. The final layer of sand should cover the roots by 5 centimeters. Store the bucket in a cool, dry place away from pests and direct sunlight. Remember to use dry, cool sand. Do not use water. You can store the roots in a basin for 3 to 4 months. 4 to 6 weeks before the rains come, take the roots out of storage and plant them in rows on their side, 50 centimeters apart and 5 centimeters deep, and sprinkle with water. The roots will sprout and produce a nursery of vines. The vines can be cut to make cuttings for planting material, which you should plant before the rains come.
Now that sprout is what you cut and plant. Now remember, if you have 40 storage roots, medium-sized roots, you can get 1,500 cuttings.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Many farmers like Joseph have no electricity, so they rely on kerosene for light. But kerosene is bad for your health. I introduced the whole family to a d.Light expert who has a better alternative. Mama, when you're making a meal for your husband here in the evening, what do you use for light? Because I know sometimes it can be very, very dark inside there. What do you use?
Tumia tochi.
Now, Mama, niambie una mtoto yuko shule. What class is she?
8.
She's in standard 8. Yeah. What does she use in the evening to study?
Ni mafuta tatu.
Oh, kerosene.
Yeah.
And your phone, you have a phone? Where do you charge it?
Naenda huko juu.
Is it far?
Yeah.
How much do they charge you for that?
10 shillings.
That's very expensive. What if I tell you that I have a solution to those problems? How would you feel about that?
Very good. Yes.
Expert, you've heard about their problems.
I have heard.
They are cooking with a torch.
Yeah.
What can you do to help?
I think all this time I've been here in your homestead, I have experienced a lot of sunlight. What I want us to do is to help us to use sunshine which we receive freely to help solve all those problems related to light and related to charging your phone. Because it will not only reduce the dangers of using kerosene, but it will make sure that you start saving all the money you've been spending on kerosene from now forever. Now, if you spend 20 shillings every day on kerosene, in 1 week it's 140 shillings. In 1 month, it's 600 shillings or so. In 1 year, it's 6,000, 7,000 shillings. You don't see it when you're spending it every day, but it's a lot of money. And you can use that money for something, so for something else. So one, for you, Mom, I want to give you one of our lights, a d.Light solar light. This you can hang in any way when you're cooking for the husband and for the family, so that you no longer have to hold the light in one hand and cook with the other hand. All you have to do every day is take out the solar panel, which receives charge from the sun, and then connect it to the lantern. And that's it. It begins to charge. All right. And then for your problems with charging the phone, you put this in here, and then you choose the charger for your phone, which is which one? This one.
Yeah.
And when you put it in, is it charging? Is it? Okay. So those problems are solved. Now, on the matter of your daughter who is in class 8, and she's a candidate this year, I want her to be able to study for as long as she can in the night, so that she can perform better in school. And when she succeeds, you also succeed, isn't it? Okay. So for her, I have this study lantern. And all she has to do is put it in the sun as well. That is the solar panel. It receives charge. And in the evening, when she switches it on, she can study for 4 hours in the night. Will that help?
Thank you.
And all these products will come with a warranty of 2 years. Which means if there's any problem with the way they're operating in those 2 years, I will replace those lanterns for free. I will not repair them. I will replace them for free. Will that be helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very.
Mama, are you happy?
Very, very.
Thank you.
I can see you're smiling. Thank you so much. The new chicken house is ready. The new chicken house is clean, dry, and secure with patches for the birds. Remember to keep your chicken house clean all the time.
Joseph, this is really nice, very delicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could you tell us what you've learned?
I have learned about sweet potato like this. Now I'm eating.
Yes, now you know how to store.
I have learned about this chicken, how to build a good house and how to have a good healthy hands. Another one I have learned about soil. Yeah.
Okay, this is really, really, really nice. Can I have some more?
Yes, there is in my kitchen here.
So Grace is making more?
Yes.
I would love to have some more.
Yes, there, even if you want to call it.
Thank you so much. Really, really nice.
Okay, yes.
It's been another great show here in Njoro.
We'll see you next time on Shamba Shape Up.
Shamba Shape Up is online. To learn more about today's topics or to watch any of our previous episodes, visit shambashapeup.com, select the episode and click play. You could also visit our Facebook page, Shamba Shape Up, to get more information, get involved in discussions, and also get a chance to enter some of our great competition to win great prizes. You can also find us on Twitter at Shamba Shape Up.